On life's journey, we are often asked how to accelerate the process of manifestation, how to free ourselves from limiting beliefs, and how to relinquish control in favor of trusting the invisible power that guides us. So today, this video will be dedicated to unraveling these questions by diving directly into the source of wisdom, where we will explore the awareness of true identity. When I talk about identity in this context, I mean the identity we choose and the attributes we decide to embody. This encompasses values, beliefs, skills, behaviors, and environments. These elements flow naturally from our vision, driven by the power of our subconscious mind. Awareness of true identity is connected to our formless self, which transcends all attributes on all levels. This understanding is the answer to many questions that arise. It allows you to feel the existence of all the ideal attributes connected to your vision without encountering unnecessary resistance. You transcend these resistances. You feel the existence. You recognize it. You feel it again. That's how it is. Resistance arises from beliefs based on resistance. If you don't identify with these beliefs, resistance dissipates. This is the path to living a full life guided by the true essence of who you are. Resistance often arises from beliefs that represent an over-identification with aspects within the three lower levels. I'm referring to the way we subconsciously relate to skills, behaviors, and environments, which include people, circumstances, and information. This is the difference between those who flow in their initiatives and those who force themselves unnecessarily through them. Force is generated by restrictive beliefs that seek to be released. One of the simplest ways to release identification with beliefs and remain in your ideal state of consciousness is as follows. Take a moment to recognize that you have a body, a mind, and life experiences reflected on these three levels. As you reflect on this, recognize that the you that is aware and reflecting is beyond these areas. Become aware that this you is beyond the mental beliefs related to a personal identity on these layers, and remain silent in this awareness. You are the I that transcends all forms, the unconditional and impartial observer of everything. And by transcending, I mean by definition, beyond the perceived reach or the perceived limitations of these areas. In other words, the limitations in relation to these areas are perceived and exist only in the mind, specifically in the subconscious aspect that stores beliefs. It's possible that this world is made up of beliefs, which means that anything accepted as true can be changed. So, we can change what is accepted as true. Imagine that a person believes that one approach is superior to another. This belief represents an identification that we can call personal truth. However, there is a truth that goes beyond the personal, a truth that transcends individuality, the truth that you simply exist. This formless I remains constant, regardless of changes over time. Personal beliefs and experiences in relation to people, environments, circumstances, and information may seem to change, but what remains unchanged is the consciousness of being. This is what I want to highlight as awareness of true identity, or self-realization. With this perspective, we realize that it's easier to let go of identification with beliefs, and so other suggestions become more accessible. Accepting ideas like, "this is how it is," becomes a fluid practice as we experientially recognize the existence beyond any resistance to these suggestions. What once required around 20 minutes of meditation to release identification with thoughts, perhaps now happens instantly through this practice. We all have this capacity. Each of us has a unique history of life experiences that culminate in this realization, and that's perfect. Choosing what to accept as true for life's appearances, that is, what you consider real in your imagination, becomes easier, and appearances change accordingly. However, what remains constant is this formless self, plus a chosen identity, values, beliefs, skills, behaviors, and environment. This can be called the true identity. There's no need to name it like that or define it rigidly. You can call it whatever you like for reference. True identity is the consciousness that observes all the changes and transformations that arise as life experiences. You, me, all of us are beyond everything we agree to be true. In some traditions, this is known as self-realization, the direct experience of the self. We are the consciousness that transcends all these layers, consciously accepting a vision as true and choosing a personal identity that manifests through specific values and beliefs. This choice automatically unfolds in skills, behaviors, and environments. In simple terms, we don't identify with the state that manifests in all of us, but with the state from which everything unfolds, driven by the invisible power. This process is also a form of self-realization, where we recognize that we are life itself and shape our desired existence through imagination. We transcend personal identity by becoming conscious of it. This is what we call self-realization. In another recent video, we covered a similar process for discovering the self beyond form, which I'll share in the description. So, try to take a moment to recognize this self, as we discussed, because it facilitates the release of identification with harmful beliefs, realizing experientially that we are beyond them and beyond conjecture. The regular practice of recognizing that we are more than our beliefs helps to release identification with those that are not useful. And there are countless benefits to realizing consciousness as our true identity. The essence of magic lies in your consciousness of being, the epicenter from which all magic unfolds. The power that resides in this divine center manifests itself in a practical way when we imagine life revealing itself in its various layers. This also represents continuous peace. I believe that the secret to an abundant life lies in finding the divine center within us, living and emanating from that place, rather than allowing ourselves to be disturbed by the outer circles of clamors and arguments. The lack of peace, in turn, results from identifying with corresponding beliefs, translating into the external surroundings, perceived as turmoil, desires, clamors, and arguments that make up all areas of our lives. Reflecting on the areas of life, we notice how they are intrinsically connected to beliefs. For example, why would someone choose to engage in unnecessary discussions unless they believe that this action would result in some benefit? Or perhaps they do so unconsciously without questioning this approach. However, is this really the only way to reap benefits? As we explore these questions, it becomes clear from our experience with the principles we've discussed that problems often resolve themselves when we allow them to run their course. The results unfold in unknown ways, in the realms of the invisible. I'm not saying that avoiding conversations is the solution, but pointing to the possibility of a different approach. If the conversation emanates from the divine center, we would realize that this same divine center is present in someone else, just as it is in us, here and now. This fundamental perception would result in different dialogues based on harmony, love, and mutual benefits, rather than conversations that generate pain and humiliation. For example, the attraction of intellectual debate is often based on the pursuit of selfishness. However, the fruits of this pursuit are often reaped in the form of humiliation and sadness. But the real desire is not in this self-centered quest, but in a belief. Those who identify with this belief, consciously or unconsciously, believe that this is the only way to obtain benefits. Those who decide not to settle for mere appearances, shadows, and illusions will dispel every fleeting fantasy with the penetrating light of the divine center. The transcendence of appearances, shadows, and illusions occurs by recognizing the consciousness of being. From this point of view, it is clear that these phenomena are intrinsically connected to beliefs in the mind, and by understanding this, it becomes possible to release them, causing them to dissipate or metamorphose. The wisdom that connects to this understanding highlights the need to be superior to possessions, body, circumstances, environment, and other people's opinions, as well as our attitude towards these elements. True strength and firmness only manifest when we achieve this superiority naturally, without effort. How then can we truly be superior to these aspects without using force? The answer is by recognizing that we are already intrinsically superior to these elements. While some may choose to identify with these aspects, remember, that's their choice. Likewise, if they choose not to identify, that is also a choice. It is through our choices that we apply the invisible power to transform appearances, reaffirming to ourselves that we are, in fact, superior to these aspects. Those who see themselves as mere results and instruments of circumstances will tend to falter in the face of every change in their external condition. Please understand that here, I'm talking about being superior to these aspects, not superior to others. To understand the beliefs that lead us to seek external approval before allowing ourselves to truly be who we want to be is to free ourselves from self-imposed bonds. When we realize that we have transcended all beliefs that seek validation through appearances, we gain freedom from what could be considered secondary causes. By recognizing that consciousness is the one true reality and becoming what we conceive it to be, we free ourselves from the tyranny of secondary causes. This means releasing the belief that there are causes external to our mind that can impact our life. Everything is found in the state of individual consciousness. As we contemplate the intricate layers of consciousness and our deepest selves, a perception emerges that transcends words, an understanding that goes beyond the intellect. Diving into the essence of being reveals a vast and, at the same time, intimate panorama, a journey that connects us with the subtle fabric of the universe. In this ocean of consciousness, we realize that we are more than our self-imposed limitations, more than the beliefs that have shaped our journey. We are divine expressions, the architects of our reality, sculpting it with thought and bringing to life the vision that dwells in our hearts. Freedom is revealed in the conscious choice to be the impartial observers of our existence, navigating the waves of time without getting lost in the currents of circumstance. And when we understand that true strength resides in the unconditional acceptance of our being, we realize that we are the co-creators of our own life, of our reality, all based on our intention. The journey of self-transformation is not a search for external validation, but a deep exploration of our authenticity. We are like stars that, by shining, illuminate not only the night sky, but also the path of others who seek the light within. Every choice, every thought shapes our destiny, forging a path that resonates with the vibration of the true self. We are the creators, the dreamers, and each act of self-knowledge is a petal that blossoms into the flower of self-realization. So I invite you to embrace the journey of consciousness, to recognize the power that emanates from within. Let acceptance and conscious choice guide your steps, allowing the vision of your highest self to be the beacon that lights up the horizon. May each reflection shared here be an invitation to authenticity, a reminder that the search is not out there but within us. For it is here that we find true freedom, the freedom to be ourselves, to become the purest expression of the consciousness that dwells within us all. May your inner light continue to shine, always guiding you back to your true self, to the eternal essence that is you. I hope this content has provided clarity for all of you. Remember, you are the impartial and unconditional observer of everything that unfolds. From this point of pure observation, choose how you want things to manifest and accept them as such, allowing the invisible power to take care of everything, shaping your reality from a state of blissful flow. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.